Let's take a look at Endnote X7 on the PC. First thing I want to look at is the top left hand corner, starting from local library mode, online search mode, temporary library and integrated library and your online search mode. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to click in local library. This will only list here on the left your local library. It won't also show your search options here. Because if I click on the search options here, it gives you libraries you can search for. If I actually click more, there's even more there that you can select and search from. So go back to local library. This is where you organise all your groups, so you can create folders. You can also create what's called a smart folder. So for example, you're looking for some specific name in or title, it will automatically be put in that folder from your search options. First thing I'm going to do though is just create a folder. So I'm going to go up to groups and I'm going to select create group. And just for now I'm just going to call this PubMed. Tap off that. Obviously you'll create folders independently of what you require for each topic or option. I'm using it as a vast option. Now I've clicked on PubMed. Now what I need to do is start searching. So if I click the option here which is integrated library and online search, that will also list my folder I've created and my online search which I can do. If I click this button here in the middle, online search mode, this one is show the online search. So you can separate what you want to actually work on, but I prefer them both integrated. I can find what I want, then drag them into the required folders. In the middle here is your reference styles. We've got Harvard, we've got MHRA, which is humanities, footnoting. If I actually click on select another style, we have the list of styles here from APA. You can see 6th edition, which is psychology. I haven't got many Harvard there. I'll have to look at the Harvard in a minute. I think they have the Harvard Scientific. Let me have a look. There we go. We have the science one. But I'm going to look for another style in a minute, and I'll show you how to actually you can download the style and import it into your Endnote X7. Click cancel. So what I'm going to do for now is leave that on Harvard Scientific. Here's an option where you can copy to your local library. For example, when I do a search I might want to copy them, what I've highlighted, to my local library. By clicking that button will then send them to the folder you require to your local library. I'll show you that in a minute. Also, new reference, if I click this button, if you can't find a reference online you can create one by typing in the fields here. Bear in mind to use the option here to make sure you're using the correct reference type. Obviously if I change it to web page, and then the fields will change, for example access year, access date, so make sure you choose the correct one. Close that window. Your option here is your online search, so if I click that here you can choose where you want to search from, same as clicking the other button I showed you in a sec with the integrated or just a search option there. But this option will actually let you choose your online database as well. You can import references from a file into a library. You can also export them. This option here I'll show in a second is to find full text. So for example, I find a reference and I import them into my group's library, my local library. If I click this button it will search for PDF or any text files that corresponds to that reference. I'll show you that in a minute as well. This will open up any URL which is an internet site from one of your references, and this will can open up a file. Now these buttons here are for sending your citations to your Word document. So we can insert a citation into a Word document using that button. We can also format the bibliography if need be, and this is an online option sync with Endnote which I'll do at a later date. So let's make a start. So if I go up to left hand corner here I've got integrated library and online search mode. I'm going to leave it in that mode. I've currently chose PubMed. So I'm now clicking these fields here and I can start typing in what I'm looking for. You can see here I can search for author, year, title. If I actually click the drop down menu you can change what actually you're looking for, what you need to find. But I'm going to leave it on that and I'm going to put in, for example, I'm going to put in Smith and I'm going to look for year 1999 and I'm not going to know about the title. Now click the search button, it's going to search the PubMed library. As you can see here it comes up At the moment there's 4,200. Now I'm going to break that down just to 42 and click OK, and then it will reveal 42 at the bottom. And here we go. Let me scroll back up. So you can see here everything's got the name Smith, so there's multiple authors there. Smith there, Smith there. Now I'll show you how that smart folder work groups in a minute so you can see how that works. Before we do that, you need to choose what you want. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the first one, or I can hold shift and I can highlight them all, or if I hold control down I can then tap on the ones that I want to keep. I'm just clicking on random at the moment. And before I do that, so that button there, I'm going to click that and see if I can find full text for any of them. There's your copyright you need to read. Click OK. And you see here on the left it's starting to search those 8 references that I've chose. So it's not found 4, but it's found 3 URL, which is internet sites. It's still searching 1, you see at the top. And there we go, it's found 4 URLs. So if I click on that, 4 of these have a website link I can go to. So if I go over to the right, so double tap that, there's the reference style there, close that. Now if I come over to the right, I've highlighted the first option. Now if I select preview and select reference, and then I can scroll down, there's the multiple authors. You can see Smith is there as well. Remember, you can always break down your criteria, what you're searching for in the search options. The title, the journal, volume, issue, and all your required information that we can start citing your work with. And you've got your abstract at the bottom there, and you've got your URL, which I'll tap, click, so it takes to PubMed, and there it is. It will show you PDFs if they're available as well, so it's definitely worth clicking that button. So I'm going to decide I want to keep these journals, so click on the first one, click shift, click the bottom one, and I can drag them all into my PubMed folder, as so. So click back on that, and there they are safely. I can always go to the 42 again and search that if there's any more I need. But let me go to the top here and go to local library mode. Now I've turned to local library mode, you can see the search options have disappeared and I can concentrate on the actual references that I've put there. And if I go above here, you've got unfiled, and these are the ones that I haven't filed yet. So I could create another folder down here and start filing them. But what I want to show you is this option I said I promise I'll do is groups. Let me create a smart group this time. So I need to call this, I'm just going to call this PubMed. Yeah, I'll do exactly the same, 1999. And finally title. I'm just going to add that in the title and see what I get. And click create. Now as you can see, I've created the PubMed smart folder. It's grabbed anything with those criteria in there and put them straight into that folder for me, as you can see here. So if I just pull this out, so anything with AN in it, but that kind of covers everything, as you can see from the word and so on. But you can break down the criteria that you're looking for, and then on the left here it will automatically index them into your folders for you. Could save you a lot of time when you're doing a lot of research. But I'll go back to PubMed. Now I'm going to click on a reference I want to use. I'm going to use that one, journal article. Then I'm going to scroll up to this button here. This is insert citation. Before I do that, I'm going to use this little icon here that will jump to the word processor, and I'm using Word, which I've already opened. Now at the top here you've got a tab which is an add-in called Endnote X7. This is where you use this to cite your work. Click on that and you've got that in your ribbon ready to start citing. First option is insert citation, so I can type in and have a look what I'm looking for here, and then choose the one I want, and then click, and then I can insert it that way. Go to Endnote. If I click it takes me back to Endnote. I can always jump back again by using this button, or use the shortcut key if you want to, which is Alt+1. Definitely worth getting used to using them. Edit and manage citations. So as you see, there's none added. I'll show you that in a minute, and the same goes for library references. You can convert your citations to plain text or unformatted it if required. This is really important. Instant formatting is off now. I'm going to turn that on, which means it's going to create your bibliography or reference at the bottom automatically, not just your citation. So I'm going to go back to Endnote. I've decided I'm going to use this first one. There's my information on the reference on the right, and I can input it using that option, Insert Citation. Now remember the shortcut key, Alt 1, takes you right back to your word processor. Now let's type something in. That would do. This is an example. Obviously if it's a direct quote and you put it in quotes, but this is just a demo. Now I'm going to go back to Endnote. This is the option I want. Click the option there, Insert Citation, and there's your citation. Now I can always search for my citations I've already found in Endnote by clicking Insert Citation, click Insert Citation, and I can look for one down the list here by scrolling down. And say I want that one, click Insert, and again it'll carry on inserting. But what I want to do, let's get rid of that. Let's go back to here and type something else in. I'll put this is another one, and go to Insert Citation, Insert, choose the one you want, and click Insert, and it's done for you automatically, and it will do in alphabetical order. Now if I go to Edit and Manage Citations, you can see there the citations I've used, references in my work already, and they have been listed here. So then I can click on it, Edit. I can edit library reference. I can change my information in there if need be. Go back to Word. Also in the drop down menu you can remove citation or insert one or update from my library. If I can click cancel. So that's working so far so good. Now actually say I don't want APA, which is Psychology 6th edition, I might want Harvard, and you can see it changes to the Harvard. But the problem with that might not be your Harvard style here. So I'm going to show you how to download different styles in a minute from the actual Endnote website, and also how to edit them to get them exactly how you want them. But let me go back to Endnote and close that window I just opened. Now if I click back on the option here, which is search, and click more, now depending on what you actually choose, for example if I choose Philosopher's Index, choose that option, you need a user ID and password. You need to access, be it the website or the library first before you can actually use that. You might need a remote password, so bear that in mind. So I'll click back on PubMed, but let's just say I'm looking for a book. I'm going to open up Google, and this is a great place to search for references. WorldCat, choose the worldcat.org. I've already created a username and password. It's free, doesn't cost you a penny. Actually I'm going to put remember me. Now what am I looking for? A book, so let's type in a book. I'll just put something random in for now, so I'm searching for books. I can search for articles as well and many other sources. And here's my list here. Now we're going to scroll down, and I'm going to choose health there. Scroll down on this book and it'll give me the information at the bottom, and scroll down a bit more. So if you're happy with that, now I want you to select this option here, Cite Export. Tap that once. Now you can actually copy a citation by clicking on it and then highlight the one you want and copy it. Same with Harvard, and you can copy your citation into your work. But what I want to do is I want to get that reference and put it into Endnote. So where it says Export to Endnote Reference Manager, I'm going to left click that. See bottom left hand corner, it's downloaded. I believe that's downloaded to my download folder, so I'm just going to check now. By default showing folder, and there it is, download folder. So double tap it, and if I go back to my local library, we should now have the imported reference just here, and there it is. Just double click it and it puts it straight into Endnote. Now actually I'm going to create another little folder there, and I'm just going to call this books for now. It's my book reference. So what I can do with that is click on import with a reference, hold the left button and drag it into books. And now I'm ready to cite with it. So let's go back to the Word document, which is Alt 1. Put what I'm going to quote, I'll just put book. And now I'm going to cite that by clicking, go to Endnote, highlight the one you want, and using the option Insert Citation. Remember, if I click Format Bibliography, you can format how you want your bibliography to look. For example, linking in-text citations, you might want to underline linked. You have your layout, you can choose your font, depending on what you have to use, size, text format, line spacing, single or 1.5. So I'm going to leave that as default for the moment. I'm just going to cite, so I'm going to go to Endnote, highlight the one I want, and Insert Citation. And there's a citation, and there's the option at the bottom there of my reference. Now I'm looking at that reference, Harvard, and there's different variations of Harvard. I'm looking at one with a different variation than that, so I need to find a different style. So what you do is pop open Google, click in the option there, and we'll search for Endnote output styles. Click on the website. Depending on what you're looking, style or journal or name you can look for, citation styles. I'm just going to type in there Harvard. See what we get up. Well, let me scroll down. There we go. Harvard Angular, Harvard York. Now I'm going to download Harvard York. I've already downloaded this earlier, but I'm going to download it again so you can see it from scratch. Now let me go down to the download folder, and there it is. So I need to import that into Endnote, so I know it's in my download folder. So let's go back to Endnote. So what you do is open your download folder, double click it, and it opens up this window. Just bear in mind on the download folder, if it doesn't work and don't go straight into Endnote, right click it, choose open with, and make sure you select your Endnote. So that's opened up, so I can give that a name or what it's based on. I can change any options I need to change down this list here. For example, you might want to change the template depending on what source you're using from journals. You might decide you don't need the year, which you will do, but you can get rid of that. Web pages, we'll know that access date is really important. You can choose a variation on your actual reference style. But I'm going to leave everything as it is. So go to File, then select Save As. So I'm not going to do copy, I'm just going to call this main one. Name it how you want to name it. Once you've done that, you have to go File, and you must select Close Style. Now, let's go back to my word processor, which is Alt 1. Let's make up a quick quote. Again, this time on Harvard variation. So I need to insert citation, choose the one I want, click insert, and there's a variation. You see the brackets around the year and the minor variations. So that's how easy it is to import your styles as well, and you can also edit them with the output styles option. Now let's have a look at footnoting. If you're doing humanities and you use the MHRA reference style at the top here, you need to create a different one so it creates your footnotes properly. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to leave it on the original MHRA, and I'm going to create a footnote. So first let's put a quote in. So I'm on MHRA, I'm going to click Insert Citation, choose the journal, click Insert, and that's fine. There's a footnote and number 1. Let's do a second one. So my second footnote, Again, insert citation, choose the one you require, click insert. As you see, there's already an issue here with the footnoting. It's gone from 1 and it stayed at 1 because I've used the same footnote. So let's type something else in. I'll put another one, insert citation, scroll down, choose that one, insert 2. So as you work your way down, the problem we've got is we need them at the bottom of your page in footnotes. Now this is where the issue starts coming into play. I'll show you. So let me highlight that up to the first footnote. Now if I go to the footnote option in references, so I'm going to insert a footnote from the ribbon in Word 2013. Now I need to insert my reference in there. So if I go back to Endnote, insert citation, choose the one you want and click insert. That's fine. I've got my reference at the bottom. But the problem, it also creates one here, which is a bit of a problem because you only want it at the bottom of your page in the actual footnote. This is why I created a variation of it. It's quite easy to do. I'll show you now. Let's go back to Endnote, and I want to go up to Edit option in the ribbon. Select Edit and drop down menu, select Output Styles. Scroll down again to Open Style Manager. Let's go down and find MHRA, and there it is. And that's a variation I created. Now I'm going to right click that and click delete. So as we know from the Word document, we want the footnotes not to be repeated. We just want them in your footnote here, not to be repeated underneath your text. So click on MHRA, use Humanity Style, select Edit. Now we scroll all the way down to Templates in Footnotes section. Use footnote format is excellent, but I want you to untick Citations in Bibliography and when using a short form. Once closed, it will ask you to save it, so click yes and we'll give it a name. I should just call this main, and make sure we select that in a minute. Click save and go back to Endnote, and now we're going to try it out. So I've got my journals there. Go back to Word Processor, get rid of all that, Control A and delete, and let's try and use, now let's use the actual MHRA I created there, main. Select that and let's try it out now. So my footnote, go up to references. By the way, if you don't have to keep going to insert footnote, the shortcut key is Alt Control and F. So if I go back to Endnote, Alt Control and F puts my footnote straight in the bottom, so you don't have to keep jumping back. Insert citation, select the one I want to use and click insert, and there it is at the bottom. And if I scroll up, you've got a perfect footnote at the top. So let's add another one. Again, shortcut keys Control Alt and F for footnote, and again insert citation, choose your required one and select insert, and there's your MHRA perfect footnotes. But say we've got multiple pages, will that still work with the footnote system? Control A, get rid of. Let's put some random text in again, so random. Close bracket, enter. So now we have multiple pages here. So let me scroll back up to page 1. So let's say we're going to use the footnote MHRA, and make sure you select the one that you created. The footnote there, which is Control Alt F. Insert citation, or go to Endnote. Might want to cite a book as a footnote. Then select the insert button, and there it's done. Might go further down, you might go, actually I need to cite some work there with my footnote. So again, Control Alt and F is my second footnote. Insert citation, select the one you want and insert. And let's go down to the second page. You might decide you want to cite something there. Again, Control Alt F, footnote number 3, insert your citation and click insert. And that'll keep it all organised for you. So you can see how well Endnote works. So, quick overview. Go to Google or your search engine, type in Endnote Out Styles, select the first link and then choose your style there by searching for it. Or you can even look for journals if you want. And once you select the one you want, you can then download it by clicking the download button. Once you've downloaded it to your documents, go to downloads and there they are. And then for example, if you downloaded the Harvard York, just double tap it and it opens up automatically in Endnote, and that's how you add it. Just remember to File, Save As, click Save, and then make sure you close it by going to File, Close Style, then that will be added. Now we're back in Endnote, you might want to tidy up. So what we can do is, see we're in your local folder there, integrated folder where we can also see your libraries. So you might decide actually you don't want any of these unfiled options, or you want to trash some you've already done. So I'm going to highlight the first one, shift to the bottom, right click, and I'm just going to cut the lot. And you see the whole lot's gone in my trash and only left what I required there. Then right click your trash, left click and empty. That'll keep everything tidy if you need it. Go back to local and you see it's all been tidied up. Just bear in mind when you do delete them all, you're going to lose your PubMed ones with this smart one that's gone in there. And the last thing I'm going to show you is how to add the page number to the citation, depending on your style you're using. For example, Harvard, if it's a direct quote, you might need to put the page number in your citation. So let's find a book. So I'm going online again, and I'm going to use WorldCat, but you can use any library you want. I'm already logged in, as you can see here on the right. I'm going to DVDs, articles. I'm looking for a book, so let's type anything in. That will do. Scroll down, let's find a book. That will do. State of Healthcare 2007, left click. So I'm going to use this to cite my work with. So if I come up to Cite Export option, left click. Again, you can copy a citation clicking on the option here, but I want to export that to Endnote so I can store that there permanently. So export to Endnote /reference manager. Comes down bottom left hand corner, left click and it should automatically load into your Endnote. Here we go. So if I click this button here to go local library, I should have it in imported reference, and there it is. Before I do anything more, I'm just going to scroll to the top here and search the web for any full tests of the documents for selected reference, just to double check. Click OK on the copyright option. Says it's searching, not found, so that's fine. Now I'm going to go back to my word processor, Alt 1. Let's put a quote in. That'll do, I just put healthcare in. Now go up to the tab here. I've got the Endnote tab at the top, so I can jump back and forth to Endnote or use the Alt 1 button. So I'm going to use this information here, so I need to cite my work, so I click Insert Citation or Alt 2, and there's my citation, and that's using the Harvard York. Now as you can see, if it's direct quote, I need to put the page number in the citation. So right click on the citation, scroll down second from bottom which says Edit Citation. You can choose to exclude author or exclude year and whatever you need to specifically tailor your citation to your needs, but go down to More. Now let's go to suffix. So depending on how you have to do your format and your citation, I think this is the standard one. And click OK. And there you go. And there's your perfect citation with the page number in.